Yeah, so fights what? Fight
This
is next
Saturday.
this Saturday. This
Yeah, this
Saturday.
Saturday.
How much you got left to cut?
8 pounds.
8 pounds. Not bad at all.
Oh nah.
Uh quick intro, of course. Everybody, I'm here with Mr. KJ Franklin, the Ghost of Sparta.
Yes, sir.
Fighting out of Carolina Kickboxing Academy now. Um, KJ has been like an early influencer in my martial arts journey. He came into my gym block label down in Charleston maybe 2.5, probably close to 3 years ago now. You came down
Something like
with
that.
your coach Nate, came up down with Dylan, you came with yourself.
Mm.
Um, like seeing the levels of these guys because I hadn't competed then, and then still really new into the whole. That was when I had decided that I wanted to compete, and I was like
Yeah,
starting
yep.
to get into the training, um, and seeing the levels, how fast KJ moved. I'm like, man, I want to fight this guy. So KJ is an early influencer in my martial arts journey. So, KJ, talk to the audience
Yep.
about who you are, what makes KJ Franklin the fighter he is today.
Well, as you say, I'm KJ Franklin from born and raised in Sumter, South Carolina, but I jump all across the country to learn different styles and different movements just because I want to sooner or later fight the world. So I originally I train now in Florence, South Carolina. I trained in uh, West Palm Beach, Florida, under Asa Tempao, who currently fight for one championship. I trained in Colombia under Nate Van Burst, head of Spartan Academy. I've been all, and I jump hop a lot. So most people that knows me as fighters, 9 times out of 10, I probably hopped at the gym before. But the reason I got my nickname Ghost of Sparta from the Spartan at my original gym, Spartan Academy. But then as everybody, I gym hopping, everybody started calling me a ghost because it's hard to hit me, just because of how fast I am. But it's just because I don't think I move fast. I just see things differently because I know different styles, different movements from all the styles I've seen. But so they start calling me a ghost. I said, all right, cool. Let's be a ghost of Sparta. So that's no. I start becoming a ghost of Sparta, and that's no. It rings the bell to everybody's face. Everybody start calling it. People make some shirts up. They talk about stick to that.
Yeah, so talk to me about this fight coming up, man. So your debut as a professional debut
Look,
back in
that's my
September
second
of
fight.
last year. Yeah, exactly. So professional
Yeah.
debut last September, almost a whole year since then.
Yep.
What took so long to get you that second fight? And tell me what you're feeling going into this one.
So, after the first fight, apparently I went to the doctor and they said I fractured my left hand. So I had to take some time off from that. But it was just hard to find any kind of fight in South Carolina. The same problem I ran to as an amateur. So that's no, I had to basically hunt and a bunch of promotions to shout them out, just to get some attention somewhere for somebody to shoot anything at me. But me personally, I don't care about who I fight, where I fight. Just give me a time, a date, whatever. I don't care. I don't even care for the name. You even gotta tell me that. Just tell me where to show up. So next to know, I got this guy that I'm fighting in Kingsport, Tennessee on the Showcase MMA. Apparently, he's their guy as amateur. He got 2 belts, whatever. I think it's just like his 10th or 11th pro fight, which I don't care for the record because he's fighting the person out the record. But other than that, I don't typically look up anything about anybody I fight. That's the coach job. I let the coach deal with that. My job is just go out there and fight. So of course, as long as I fight my game plan, fight smart, I'll be fine.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about your coach. So you had a camp switch recently.
Yeah,
I guess recently, I don't know how recent, but
yeah,
and sometime since I've last seen you in person, you have switched camps. We
yeah.
talked a little bit about it when I saw you back in when would that be have been? Probably like around March when I went
Yeah,
to go
something
see
like March.
Ethan for his conflict
Yeah,
debut.
yeah,
So talk to me about the camp switch, what inspired that, and
yeah.
how the new setting has been helping you develop your style.
So it all come from a relationship. Me and my girls plan on taking it a little further. We want to start a family, everything like that. She's from Arizona. Her family's in Florence, so she never spent time away from her family. So it makes it easier for me to move to Florence than her to move away from her family. So I decided, all right, I know a coach in Florence, which is Walker. So I moved here to Florence, and January 1st, to be exact. So me and Walker, not knowing that we got kind of a similar style, he's just in a more bulkier frame than I am. So it's dope that anything that he teaches, anything he show me, anything that he does, I already do it. But it's just he have more experience, of course, when to throw it and what to call it out. So anytime when I spar or that, he call out certain codes that nobody else know but only me and him, which is pretty dope. It's like basically meeting your partner in crime without even like getting that much experience with under them. It's crazy, and it's crazy how that all worked out.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are a really great fit. So talk to me a little bit more about CKA. They just moved into a
Mhm.
brand new facility. They have a cage inside. They have like a whole
Yeah,
room just for bags. It's very beautiful. So congratulations to you guys and Walker.
appreciate
Shout out to
it.
Coach Walker always. Talk to me about what it's like. Obviously, you were in this mentorship role even at Spartan,
Yeah,
but Spartan has a lot of older fighters, as in they
yep,
are of older men.
yeah,
Like they are in their 20s, they're much older. The guys that you're mentoring now who are experienced fighters, but they're still very young.
yeah,
They
yeah.
both are very young men. They have just recently turned 18, 19. So talk to me about what it's like mentoring these young men into fighting with adults.
So the one thing I tell them is the power is gonna be different. I say, yeah, you fought people in the same weight class, but yeah. But at the end of the day, you fought people under the age of 17. They are now grown men. The power is gonna be totally different. But of course, like, with them being young, all the testosterone, I try to give them my cue and like everything don't have to be full power. I said you now it's not a checker game, now you're playing chess. You have to pick your shots. So that's one thing that I'll teach them to them. So when it comes to training camp, my training camp, their training camp, I make it a little more difficult with them and more aggressive with them too because they're the youngest and because they don't have that much experience jumping straight into fighting adults. Then with their, of course, name already being known, they get on top of the top. So I'm like, for example, Ethan just got Charlie, and Charlie's two-time champion, got over 15 fights, and this is Ethan's debut, which is a great start. And he see it as in, oh my God, they threw me in the wolves. I'm like, bro, you want that? Like that's what you want to see where you at. So now you know where you at. So let's push it. Zion just fought another guy in MMA at his debut, and who got no experience. So I'm like, yo, they're throwing you there for a reason. You got the name now. You just gotta show them where you at.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Ethan, although it was a tough loss, him and I
Yeah.
spoke. He learned a lot from that fight, and he had flashes of really great moments too. So
Yep.
we're
Yep.
really excited to see where Zion and Ethan where they both go because, like we talked about, they're so young. I
Yeah.
want to focus back on you a little bit more now. So this fight coming up, of course, it's in Tennessee.
Mhm.
Talk to me about what the matchup feels like for you. I know we talked about you're not fighting the record, you're fighting the person. This is
Right.
their
Right. Right.
guy. What statement are you trying to make with this fight?
So right now I'm just trying to create. So I'm already known in South Carolina. So I want to create a name for myself in Tennessee. I did earlier in my amateur career, but I just want my name to be, ring a bell in somebody's ear time to hear it. Uh, so I know since it's their guy, this would be a perfect matchup. From what I heard, he just come forward. Real aggressive fighter, perfect, cool. I know I fight backwards. I don't mind staying in the face. I don't mind pressure. It's cool with me. And then the thing about it is, I guess other guys he fought for get nervous under pressure and stuff like that, it overreact. But I fought under that condition like what almost my whole career. It's nothing to me. So my whole thing about this fight is to ring a bell, to basically get my name out there.
Yeah. Sorry, excuse my phone. I don't know if you heard that.
No,
Uh, so talk to me about what your goals are. Now that you've turned pro,
mm-hmm.
you had a tough debut. Of course, you're fighting a lot of adversity with broken hands and whatnot, but you still had
Yeah,
flashes of great moments. It's finally someone taking a second fight against you because everyone's ducking Cajun Franklin.
yeah.
So after this fight, what is ultimately your goal? Where do you want to end up, and how do you want people to remember you?
So it's all about creating a legacy. My, I want to end up within the next 2 3 years. Can't put a time on it, but I want to enter one championship. I want to fight the best of the best. I want the next know is like that's where you. I can mix it up a little bit. If I want to fight kickboxing, I can fight kickboxing. I want to try MMA, I can try MMA. I just, just want to get a little taste of everything. So the whole goal is go to MMA, go to a one championship. Then from there, I could feed my family. You know what I mean? It's like it's not. It's I'm looking at it as it's not just for me. It's like it's for my family that's coming forth. Anybody like so just leave a legacy for everybody else. When I'm dead and gone, everybody remember, oh, KJ Frank, the best one who did it. Boom. That's what I look for.
Yeah, so now that you're working with a coach with Coach Walker
Mhm.
who have competed in Thailand. So, do you feel like traveling to Thailand and competing there is on your maps? I know you said you're planning on starting a family.
Yeah,
Uh and obviously that will complicate things, of course, but
of
is
course.
there any desire to move over to Thailand for some period of time training under Thai trainers and competing as much as possible to get your name out there also?
So, funny thing you say that because Walker and I did work a plan out to go there within January or February and get at least a month or 2 months in training there. Of course, I still want to come back home and like because this is my home, this is where I'm from. So get that experience, get a few fights there, come back here, and there's no any chance I get if I could go back and get some more fights. That's cool because they fight often, so I actually get fights with it, and a lot of people there are my size, so it'll be perfect for me. But that's the whole game plan. Get 4 or 5 fights here in the U.S. and that's gonna go to Thailand. Get hopefully 4 or 5 fights there and come right back.
Yeah, we hope to see you there, of course, in Thailand. That's been the move that I've been seeing on Instagram amongst the community is that a lot of guys are traveling more to Thailand,
Oh yeah.
whether for an extended period of time or even just for a little bit. Um, and it's funny you say that a month period too, because I have just actually spoken to a well-known coach, Technical Fury, on Instagram, and he said
Mhm.
a month is basically what you need. That's pretty much all you need is a
Oh
month,
yeah.
because he
Good.
said after a
Good.
month you start missing all the things that you can get in the U.S. Uh, he recommended going to Phuket. Where were you planning on going?
I was thinking Phuket as well.
Yeah,
I was thinking as well. It's like
yeah, yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
because
That'd be cool.
that's the main one I hear about. So
Mhm.
unless somebody else show me something else, and other than that, I'm sticking Phuket.
Yeah, I have to ask around a little bit more. So I know another contact, Coach Alex from Temple
Hmm.
Muay Thai in Asheville, North
Hmm.
Carolina. He lived and fought in Thailand for many years. And he talked about Bangkok, Chiang Mai, obviously like financially, that's
Yep. Yep.
where more will go longest, more in the countryside. But I don't know. I mean, if I were to go, of course I'd want to go to Phuket because there's a lot of famous gyms over there.
Right. Right.
But man, I mean, I guess I'd wanna go travel around or see what the gym styles are like in different areas
Exactly.
too, because I don't wanna just limit myself to Phuket.
Yeah.
That's
Missing all the
just that's
experience
just
you
like
can
yeah, 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 exactly. So I
have.
don't know. I'd have to think about it. I'm maybe thinking about going sometime later this year. I'm getting married actually next Friday, and then our
Oh.
honeymoon is in October. We're gonna go to
Okay.
Bali. And we're gonna go back to Japan. That's where I'm from. So we're gonna go back to Japan for a couple weeks.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then I was thinking, like, man, maybe she goes home and maybe I take a little detour to Thailand for a couple weeks. I don't know. We're still thinking about it.
Hey, I
So
don't see why not, man. I always want
yeah,
to go to Japan as well. So hey, shoot. Cause
I mean,
remember if you remember Taka, they just trained with
hmm?
under me, well not under me, but with me at Spartan Academy. Talked to him a lot about Japan. I think I'm making a trip there.
I mean, it'd be cool for you to go to Japan on a fight trip too. Obviously kickboxing is huge, and
Yes.
you have that K1 style, also that
Yep.
tight
Yep.
punching range, fast style. So you would fit right in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to speak for all Japanese people, but Japanese people love black people, man. They love black people over there, dude.
Nice to know.
Yeah,
Nice to
I
know.
mean, this is why, like, they love Rampage Jackson, they love Bob Sapp. I don't know,
Oh, say no
Japanese
more.
I have a friend that says Japanese are culture vultures, and I guess they do
Mhm.
appreciate a lot about black culture. So, that's additional tip for you. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Sounds like a trip for
where
me.
else would you wanna travel to? Anywhere else in the world you'd like to go visit?
My lady's she's stuck on Greece. Like she's really stuck on Greece. I like the whole little hotel on the beach scenery they have. That's fire. I like that. But I don't know. Anywhere hot, count me in. I can't. I'm bad with the cold. Like anywhere is hot, I'm down.
Because I was gonna say, like, what about Holland? That's another big place of martial arts.
I didn't even know about them. Well, shoot, I'm gonna add that to my list.
Yeah, Holland will be cool. I know that there's I believe Malik Parasu from Dynamite Kickboxing.
Mhm.
He's planning on making a trip there. Of course, he's gonna be debuting
Yeah,
his national team debut for the WK USA team. They're gonna be in Scotland, and I believe after Scotland, they're
yeah,
planning on going to Holland for that. So,
yeah.
um,
I missed that one. I went pro as soon as they started announcing the team and stuff. I said, God, I went too late. I mean, too soon. I should wait a little
yeah.
while.
I want to just get your thoughts on the scene itself. Like, what do you think about? Do you feel like combat sport is becoming more legitimized and with the addition of national teams and all these like international tournaments? Do you feel like we could start seeing combat sports in perhaps in high schools in the US or like some kind of system where we can have kids competing?
I would love that because coming from somebody who does combat us, it's like every other country is above us when it comes to combat because it's in their school. But I feel like we're above or high in ranking when it comes to wrestling because it's in our school. So I mean, as long as we got the headgear, shin guards, and all, whatever, and protection is involved, why not? Like, why not? I mean, then it's getting bigger. Cause when I started 9 years ago, it wasn't this big as it is now. Now how big it is, and especially with social media, it'll be perfect. Why not?
Yeah, to create a cultural sport in a country, they say it requires three generations. A
Hmm.
generation to start it, the second generation who are sons of the first generations to become the coaches that the first generation never had. And the
Hmm.
third generation creates the talent, the players.
Right, right.
So, in your opinion, I would say we are either in generation 2 or generation 3 currently.
Yeah,
Because
right.
generation 1 was the, like, early UFC days, when
Yep.
combat sports was they were really looked up at, like, as, like, dojo sports, you know? And
uh,
then now I would say we're at generation 2 where we have the minds, the greatest minds to design the sport for us. Or do
right.
you feel like we are in generation 3 where we have the talent and now we're actually almost there to this being a cultural sport in America?
Oh, oof, good one. I'm gonna give two only because like the national teams and all that stuff is pretty much like still new to us. Like
Mhm.
I just seen it had the of course the Muay Thai just got an Olympics. It just had qualifiers for that. I was not part of it, but I was part of the training for the guys that I'm training with went under there. But I said that I said we into is still pretty new. I said within like next 10 years, it might be a little bigger. And might be more national teams, might be more exposure. So that's when three kicks in.
Yeah, where do you think in terms of the meta, the norm of the combat sport, I feel like we're seeing the resurgence of like a karate style, like that blitzing style
Yeah.
where do you feel like the meta is right now in terms of combat sports?
Uh, as you say, it's more the Blixen style, but it's like more of aggression, not really like a technical trying like more. I see more brawlers than
Yeah, do you
anything.
think that's an issue?
No, not so for attention and action for the crowd. When the crowd over, that what crowds want to see. So it's like for example, Ratan. Everybody see Ratan and think, oh, he's brawling, but he's actually pretty technical and pretty smart about what he do. He don't just go out there and just swinging. So, but of course, when everybody see that, we're not knowing the sport really, you think, oh my God, he's just straight aggressive, straight. So now most people trying to mimic that and turn to straight brawlers. So like people like me who, I move off of speed, technique, movement. It's that's the show for me. Like, yes, it might work for my style. If somebody's come forward, it's just I'm like, yeah, but 9 times out of 10, the guy did that. I picked him off. So I'm like, just to make it more like technical, and then you think about it. If we just sit there and brawl out all day, when it comes to the more technical countries, what things gonna happen? It's not gonna be good for us at all. But I love to see how it turn out. I love it.
Yeah, we'll have to see where we go. And I think you're going to be one of the pioneers to help support that Generation 3 in the state of South Carolina.
Yep,
And
yep.
honestly, all of Southeast because the way you travel too. So I'm
Oh
really
yeah.
excited to see in perhaps 5, 10 years, see where we're both at. Because I
Right.
have big dreams about changing the sport in the Southeast as well. So we'll see where we're both at, and hopefully we can continue with our relationship going forward.
For
Before
sure.
we start wrapping it up,
Yes.
any message for your fans you want to give out for this Saturday?
So for my fans, everybody just tune in. I feel like this is the real start of my journey. Like now it's time to get paid for this. Now it's time to actually put it out on broadcast. So just stay tuned in, keep the support, keep the love. It's like it's more to come, a lot more to come. Now the journey really starting. Like the amateurs was a prelim. Now just actually get it going.
And any last shout outs you want to give out, sponsors, fans?
Yes, Project Pantheon. Thank them so much. I wear my shirt now, but it came. I wait for it to come in the mail. It's still coming. But thank them so much. Great support, loving people, family oriented. Love it. Um, so if you go to Project Pantheon, use my code Ghost, and you can get a shirt discounted off. But shout out to CKA that come open hands, open arms to welcome me in. I love it. Uh, so to Steven. Steven have his fight in Miami. I'm definitely going to tender after my fight. Bumps, bruises, don't care. Hey, if I have to crawl there, I'm going there. I definitely gotta watch that. Hey, shout out to you. Hey, appreciate you hitting me up, man. That's dope, man. Appreciate it. Even though we know coming from when we just starting to now, it's like, yo, sky's the limit.
Yeah, and like before we finish off too, like I said, KJ has been there since. It's funny because KJ and now we are not teammates. We're not in the same gym, but he's always been there since the beginning. Like
Yeah,
before I competed,
support.
he was there, and actually on my first fight, he was there. I lost
Yep.
my first fight, and hearing KJ and Anthony Brown telling me he's like, these are two decorated guys. They're like, hey man, like
Yeah.
kind of happens. You're gonna get finished. You're gonna lose a
Yeah.
decision.
It's gonna
You're
happen.
gonna finish guys. You're gonna win on decision. Like it's not a big
It's
deal.
part of the game, and it's funny because Anthony was my first fight ever. I was 19 years old. It was almost his
Yeah,
third fight, so nerves kick in,
yeah.
froze up, and he tore me apart. So now see where we at now. It's crazy.
Yes, it really is funny how tight the circle is, and but I love that we are all going to support each other, and
For
that's
sure.
my policy. Is like in the ring, obviously there can only be one winner.
For
Nobody
sure.
wants to see a draw, but outside of the ring, everyone can eat. I think there's enough that everyone
Yes.
can eat outside of the ring. We should all be supporting each other, and if fighters aren't supporting each other, then who else is gonna? No one else is gonna
Exactly.
support fighters except fighters. So
That's why any chance I get, I throw my shout outs out there. I'm like, hey, look at this person, do this, do that. If I can't be there, I'm gonna find some kind of way to support some kind of way. It's not all about me. I don't see it that way. I'm a true martial artist. Like it's about the culture, it's about the family. Even though it might be, in the ring together, looking across from each other, that's cool. Outside of this, we're brothers. Like that's how I want to keep it.
absolutely, KJ. KJ, good luck to the rest of your weight cut. 8 pounds is not much, so it should be
Nice.
easy for you. Guys, make sure you tune in Saturday to KJ Franklin's fight on Showcase MMA. I'm very excited for your second professional fight, KJ. I will be tuning in, so good luck to
Yes,
you, and let's
sir.
catch you then.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Take care, man.